From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Amarachi Ubari.
Good evening and welcome. Tonight, NNPC dismisses fears of petrol shortage during the Christmas celebrations. Elderly persons seek legislation to cater for their needs and lament sorry state of some of their colleagues. Nigeria's non-permanent member status at the United Nations body applauded, but what are the benefits for the country? And deadly suicide truck bomb rocks Syria, killing at least 30 people. Begin tonight with rumors of a fuel scarcity which have been debunked by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, the NNPC, which says there is no truth about the report of an imminent fuel shortage for this Christmas festive period. The acting Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Tumini Green, called those making such speculation economic saboteurs. She says the NNPC has not stopped the importation of petroleum products as being speculated. There have been reports that the federal government is owing petroleum marketers 200 billion naira, which has made it impossible for the NNPC to carry on with petroleum importation. But Ms. Green, in a 5-paragraph statement, said that as of October 17 this year, the marine stock offshore cargoes stood at 19. Well, various ongoing road projects within Jos and Bukuru metropolis have left motorists stranded in long hours of traffic jams. However, mixed reactions have greeted the road projects. While some motorists complain of the inconveniences, others accuse the government of neglecting their area.
The whole idea, according to the Plateau State government, is to embark on construction of roads so as to open up the state for tourism and at the same time woo investors to the state. This game plan is spot on, no doubt, but motorists will have to deal with the downside of this plan: traffic jams across the metropolis. Motorists have to look for alternative routes, which are also congested when workers are going to work, as well as towards the closing hours. It gets worse, and in the evening when security personnel are on patrol.
In as much as it is what people expect, that the roads should be good and expanded, motorists are not finding it easy, because once you come out a little after 7 o'clock, you are bound to encounter hold-ups.
My office is in Ahmadu Bello Way. When you come through that side, as in, before you could get to where you're going to in Ahmadu Bello Way, it will take you like 20 minutes before you pass through, sometimes more than half an hour before you pass through Ahmadu Bello Way. Most people don't want to come down there because of the traffic jam.
You know, even the shortcuts you need to follow to go to your office, you'll not be able to follow it. You have to go around, take a longer route.
Apart from the inconveniences caused by the ongoing construction work, some areas do not have enough good access roads, which also contribute to the suffering of residents, particularly in Nasarawa and Rantia areas of Jos, the state capital.
We have been expecting different governments to repair the roads for us, but they couldn't. Really, it has been affecting us because in the rainy season, water becomes stagnant.
During the rainy season, we used to suffer here seriously when cars are passing through here. In most cases, some of them used to dodge the road as if they will enter my shop.
Commissioner for Works in the state, Chris Hassan, explains that the Plateau State government has invested over 60 billion naira in road construction, while the issue of compensation remains a major concern in opening up some of those areas.
In trying to acquire a right of way to build the road, you see houses have been built very close to the road, and you hardly can touch anybody's house, and they're not compensating. So we found out that one of the things that is making the total contractual figure so high in just Bukuru Metropolis is the aspect of compensation. You see a road that will take maybe just 1.6 billion naira, consuming over 3 billion naira, because part of it is going to be used to compensate those house owners so that we can have the normal width of a road.
As the government continues to open up the state to attract tourists and investors by constructing new roads, concerted efforts should also be made to repair some of the roads that are bad, particularly within the Jos Township and some areas that are not enjoying government presence.
The Trade Union Congress of Nigeria is condemning alleged plans by the Senate to devolve more powers to the 36 states of the Federation by moving some items, including wages, from the 68 items contained in the executive legislative list to the concurrent legislative list to allow state houses of assembly legislate on them. And while the Congress says it is not against the debate and the review of the 1999 Constitution, the TUC maintains that the move will create more industrial crisis, especially as some states are yet to implement the new minimum wage of 18,000 naira, even though President Goodluck Jonathan had signed it into law in March 2011. The Congress, however, proposed a significant restructuring of the revenue allocation formula in favor of the states so that they can effectively shoulder the added responsibility of their increased wage payment. A growing concern over food security and hygiene has prompted the Lagos State government to take 25 butchers and cow dealers to Kenya and Botswana on a study tour. A reason behind the trip to learn how meat is processed and packaged hygienically for human consumption. At the end of the tour, a memorandum of understanding tagged the Nairobi Declaration was signed by the Lagos State government, concerned parties in the meat value chain, and a food safety company, Sealed Air. Our correspondent Ihochi Kichuku, who was in Kenya with the team, reports.
Some may wonder why take 5 hours to fly some 3,811 kilometers to Nairobi, then drive another 30 kilometers to the Meat Commission to learn about killing goats and cattle. Well, over 4,000 heads of cattle and 10,000 goats are already being slaughtered daily in Lagos alone. That is a lot of meat, and when you consider the World Health Organization estimates 200,000 deaths result from diarrhea each year in Nigeria, with 70% of this figure owing to contaminated food and water. That is a lot of meat for concern.
With the population of Lagos, you will see that this is a very critical value chain that must not be overlooked. This is what informed our coming to Kenya. This is also what informed our sitting down together. We had several stakeholders meeting before we came up with the memorandum of understanding, which we now codename Nairobi Declaration. The declaration is about the migration of where we were in Lagos before we came down here, the practices that is to us not the best of practices. We now want to move to the best of practices in that value chain.
We know that Lagos produces a lot of agricultural products, and we want to teach how that they can get involved in having a better hygienic product for the Lagosians.
Established in 1950, the Kenya Meat Commission enjoys a reputation for the high standards of hygiene it maintains in the preparation, processing, and packaging of its products. We are the Kenya Meat Commission here in Nairobi, and we know all over the world meat remains a staple of many diets, and that is why a lot of care goes into the preparation, processing, and packaging. The reason why the Lagos State government brought butchers and animal dealers to learn about that care.
Our slaughter process is very elaborate. We observe extremely high hygiene levels in our slaughter. We work with a team of trained staff or operatives, which includes the flayers and the butchers and all the people that are involved in the line.
We have our facilities on ground. We only plead with the government to reactivate some of the ones that are already dilapidated and put them in place. We intend to start putting it into practice, whatever we have seen here.
The same process also applies in Botswana. Hygiene remains top on the agenda.
We are going to bring about capacity building, continuous capacity building. Training and retraining will continue. We are going to commit a lot of stakeholders to what they are already agreed to. So before the end of this year, 2013, we will dislodge all the illegal slaughter slabs in Lagos State.
The butchers and cow dealers have been trained and have seen all the processes that goes on in this abattoir. If we are indeed what we eat, then our health must depend to a large extent on the health of the food we consume. And Lagos State has decided to take this beyond lip service. From Nairobi, Kenya, Ihoichi Ikechukwu, Channels Television News.
Well, messages of condolence have been pouring in following the death of frontline activist and co-founder of the Pro-National Conference Organization, Chief Oluwide Omojola. Among those who offered their condolences were the governors of Lagos and Ondo states. Mr. Omojola died in Akure, the Ondo State capital, after making a presentation to the Presidential Committee on the proposed national conference. In his condolence message, the governor of Ondo State, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, said Chief Omojola represented the best of the generation of human and political rights activists who never compromised in the face of serial treachery. Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola, who commiserated with the late Omojola's family earlier today, also described him as selfless, humble, and committed to the defense of the masses.
Humble in his aspirations, totally committed about putting himself forward in the defense of the masses and the downtrodden of this nation. Selfless at his own expense in the pursuit of justice, in the quest for the enthronement of democracy. I think that all I can say in summation is that those who give so much of their lives in the service of others truly immortalize themselves even when they die. So the physical Baba Omojola is not with us anymore, but I am sure that he lives because he lived and died for very good causes.